Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about the data integration. This is K. Anjali, Assistant Professor of Department of CAC AIML, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today we are going to learn about the data integration. Now, in previous class, we learned about the data cleaning. That means we have learned the two steps of the data cleaning, data pre-processing. First step of data pre-processing. First step of data pre-processing is data cleaning. Second one is data integration. Third one is data reduction. Then fourth is data transformation. And fifth one is data discretization. Discretization. These are the steps of data pre-processing. What is data pre-processing? It is the process of removing unwanted errors, unwanted data. We have seen data cleaning. There are some steps. First was removal of unwanted observation. Second one, removal of structural errors. Then third one, handling the missing values. And fourth one, handling or managing the outliers. And the last one was validate and QA. These are the steps of removal of unwanted data. That means data cleaning. In first step, removal of unwanted observation. That means if there is a unwanted space, unwanted data, then we have to remove from the huge amount of data. Then if there is a structural error, then you have to remove it. Then handling missing value. If your data set is containing some missing values, then we have to remove it. If your data set is containing some outliers, then if there is if there is any valid reason, then we have to remove that outliers. And after that, before you have to present, your data should be valid, and you have to find out the answers of the question which should be very useful for your future data. That means you have to follow all these things. Now we will see the contents of the data integration. Contents which we will cover, that are: what is data integration, approaches of data integration, then advantages of data integration, and techniques which are used for data integration. Now, first we will see what is data integration. Data integration is the process of combining the data from different sources into the single and unified view. Now, we already know that we are collecting the data from different sources. We are collecting the data from different sources. After collecting that data, actually we are collecting the data in the large amount. So when we are collecting the data in large amount, it should be structured or it should be unstructured. Sometimes it should be in batch format, sometimes it should be the streaming format. So we have to process on it. If we are collecting the data from different sources, that means after collecting data, we have to combine that data in the single form and unified view. Typically, generally, unified view what is central data repository. Unified view typically store the data in the central data repository, which is also known as the data warehouse. What is doing the data warehouse? Actually, data warehouse is the data management system which is storing the data in the single format in the central repository. Actually, data integration ultimately enable the some analytic tools for producing actionable and effective business intelligence. It consolidate the all type of data, all kinds of data, whether it should be structured, unstructured, batch or streaming format. For everything, for we need the data. For everything, we need the data. To do everything from basic querying of inventory databases to complex predictive analysis. For example, if we want to extract the information about the each customer which are already available in your business systems, such as we can say sales, marketing and accounts. And if you want to combine the data in the single format, then you have to use the data integration. After combining the data in the single format, then it will be easy for you, which will used by you for reporting purpose, for analysis purpose, and for customer service purpose also. That means in data integration, we are combining data. We are combining the data from different sources into the unified view, into the single format, into the common model. For example, there are some sources. This is, we can say, source 1, source 2, source 3. We are collecting the data from these sources and storing in the common model. Storing in the common model. This is about the data integration. Now we will see. This is the diagram of overview of data integration. This diagram containing the different sources: data source 1, data source 2 and data source n. We are applying the data integration technique on this data. After applying data integration technique, we are converting the data and we are storing the data in the unified view in the single view. And when we are storing the data in this single view, in unified view, then it will be easy for us for accessing the data and for searching the data. Now, we will see approaches of data integration. When we are using the data integration and when someone is asking about data integration, at that time it comes in mind only two approaches: ETL and ELT. ETL and ELT. ETL. First, ETL means extract, transform and load. That means generally data is extracted from multiple sources, then we have to transform into the meaningful format. We have to transform that data into the meaningful format and then we have to load that data into the data warehouse where users can be queried and can be reported on the unified view of the data. That means in ETL, extracting, then transforming and loading. Extracting, we are extracting the data from different sources. We are extracting the data from different sources. Transform into meaningful format. Transform into meaningful format and loading into data warehouse. When you are using the extract, transform and load, it will perform transformation step outside of the database, reduces the storage and CPU load on the data warehouse, which will be very cost effective approach for many approaches. That means when you are using this technique, it will transform your data in the database format and it will reduce the storage space. It will reduce the storage space. Now we will see next ELT. ELT means extract, load and transform. Actually, here data is extracted from different sources, then loaded into database staging area and then transform into usable format within the database. That means first we have to extract the data from various sources. Then after extracting data, we have to load the data in the staging area and after loading, we have to transform here usable format in the meaningful format. In ELT, we are extracting data from different sources, then we are transforming the data in the usable format and after transforming data in usable format, we are storing the data in the data warehouse. And in ELT, we are extracting data from different sources, loading into database staging area and after that we are transforming the data in usable format. That means this approach mainly necessary for meeting the checkpoints, some auditing and security requirements. But this technique always it go for the expensive purposes. Here you can see that ELT versus ETL, extract, loading and transforming and extract, transforming and loading. ELT, we can extract the data from various databases like RDBMS, NoSQL, CSV, complex XML, JSON, image, videos. Then you have to extract the data and you have to load data into the data warehouse or data lake. And after that, you have to transform the data into the understandable format which is very useful for analyzing the data. Then ETL extract, you will extract the data from RDBMS, tabular CSV, Excel, then simple XML. Then after that you will transform the data and then you will load data into the data warehouse or data lake. And after that data you will use for the analyzing purpose. This is the process of ETL and ELT. Now we will see the advantages of data integration. First advantage is boost efficiency and saves the time, then reduces the errors, helps in smarter business decisions, delivers more valuable data, and improves collaboration. First, we will see boost efficiency and saves the time. Nowadays, a company using data integration techniques. Actually, when company integrates the technique or using the techniques like a data integration, then it will automatically cut down the time which was used for preparing the data and analyzing the data. Because when we are accessing the data from different sources, it takes too much time. And even we are collecting data in the large amount, we have to process on it. We have to process on it, and when you are using the data integration technique, at that time it will cuts down the time which was using for the preparing and analyzing your data. And unified view also when unified view also eliminate the gathering of data. There is no need of gathering the data from different sources or manually, because if you will gather the data manually, then automatically it will take so much time and your result will be very worst. Your result should be wrong. That's why you have to you have to avoid the step of gathering our data manually. Then when you are using data integration techniques, then automatically it will saves your time, and that time you can use for analysis and execution purpose to make the organization more productive and competitive. Because if your company will be uh, productive, competitive, then you should be uh, it will be very easy for you to grabbing opportunities. Improving work efficiency can have direct positive impact on the company's bottom line. If you are using data integration, then automatically it will impact on your company. It should be positive impact, and that if your company has a positive impact, that means it will be easy for you to improve your work efficiency. Now we will see second one, reduces the error. When you are gathering the data from different sources, there should be some error, there should be unwanted data, there should be some white spaces, and even there should be the null values. Because of this availability, there should be the errors. You cannot get the particular results. So when you are gathering data manually, every time you should know the every location and account they might want to explore. Even if you are doing manually, then you have to install all necessary software before using or before ensuring their datasets will be accurate or complete. In case you added the data repository in your database and employees unaware, at that time they have an incomplete dataset. That means there should be incomplete dataset. And when data integration is available, then employees have access accurate and real-time data whenever added. That means it will reduce the manual work and data manipulation techniques. That means it will minimize the error automatically. That means when we are using the data integration techniques, or when we are applying the data integration technique on the data set, then automatically it will reduce the errors. It will remove the unwanted errors, and it will reduce the manual work and data manipulation also. Now we will see helps in smarter business decisions. Generally, data integration allows transparent business processes. Data integration allows transparent business processes. Nowadays, In every business, every organization, every company is using the data integration technique because they have to handle their data. They have to manage their data. If they will not use them, they will be very difficult for them to handle their data. So data integration techniques gives the flexibility for using the data, and it allows to understand the data clarity. That means when you are using data integration system, then there will be the flexibility for using the data, and it will be very useful for you, and it allows, and it will be very easy for us to understand the data very clearly, and therefore decisions related to businesses we can take very quickly and smartly because we are applying data integration technique. We are collecting the data in the unified view, so on that basis we can take the result very quickly and very smartly. Fourth is delivers more valuable data. Obviously when you are processing the data integration technique, then it will improve the value of your business data over time, and it will integrate it into the centralized repository system. What is centralized repository system? I already told, it is using the data warehouse. It is using the data warehouse. And when you are using the data warehouse, or when you are using the data integration technique, there is a very important quality issues. Quality of data. You have to identify and you have to improve if there are quality issues happen. That means if there are quality issues, then you have to identify and you have to remove it. After that, after removing and after identifying, you can get the more accurate data with the quality analysis. Now, last one is improves collaboration. In every time, in every department, and there is a need of accessing the data for business projects. And obviously, employees in all employees in every department are improving their data and generating their data. Whatever need for your business. After integrating the data, everyone can access the unified view of data from the entire organization. There is no need to go to any separate sources. If he or she or that employee can access data from anywhere, and this improves the collaboration and unification across the organization. That means any employee can access the data in the form of unified view from entire location from anywhere. That means it is the improving the collaboration and unification across the organization. Now we will see the techniques used for data integration. There are 5 techniques which are used for the data sets: data consolidation, data propagation, data federation, data warehousing, and middleware data integration. First one, data consolidation. That means in data consolidation, we are processing on our data. We are collecting our data from different sources. Then there is need of cleaning, and after cleaning we have to combine that data in the single location. That means in data consolidation we will collect data from various sources. Then we have to clean it. We have to clean it. And after cleaning the data, we have to combine it. We have to combine it. This is all about the data consolidation. In the form of definition, we can say that it is the process of collecting the data from different sources, then cleaning it, and after that combine it in the single location. It is very important step for the data integration and data management. If you will not do data consolidation, then it will be very difficult for any user to access the data. For example, if there is a just consider the budgeting scenario where we are collecting the data on the Excel sheet, and if that data we are stored in the different format, but we have to submit. So on that time we have to collect the data. We have to consolidate the data on only one sheet. That means we are collecting data from different sheets, and then we are cleaning it, and after that we are storing that all data in on the one sheet on into the one workbook. That means within the Excel, it will allow the data, it will allow gather the data from different workbooks and consolidate them into the one workbook. Here is the diagram of data consolidation. You can see there are different sources, databases, CRM, ERP, web events. Then after that, we have applied the extract, load, and transmit format, approach. Then after extracting the data from different sources, it is storing in the staging area, which is used for transferring the data in the understandable format. Then after loading the data, we are storing into the data warehouse, which will be the prepared for data, and after that we are transmitting that data to the business intelligence tools, and these business intelligence tools use this data for analytics and reporting purpose. Next one is data propagation. Data propagation is the allocation of data. It is the allocation of data from one source to another source. That means we have to distribute the data. We have to copy data from one location to another location. In data consolidation, what we are doing? We are collecting the data, then cleaning, and then combining. In data consolidation. But in data propagation, we are allocating the data from one or more sources to another sources. And for this, we are using two approaches, EDR and EAI. EDR is the enterprise data replication, and EAI is the enterprise application integration, which are used for data propagation. If you are using the enterprise data replication, then it will used for transferring the data between two databases. And if you are using the enterprise application integration, then it will create the link for transaction processing. It will create the link for transaction processing between the two systems. That means data allocation is data allocation using two approach. One is the EDR and another one is the EAR. When you are using the EDR, then you have to transfer the data between two sources, and when you are using the EAR, you have to create the link for business transaction processing. Here is a diagram. We will see uh, enterprise application integration and right time ETL. Enterprise data application we have used. This tool we have used, and by using this tool, we are distributing the data to the different sources. We can see here as S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, and so many. That means we are distributing the data in various format from one source to another source. For here, there is a EI, RTTL, EDR. It is containing the data, and we have to distribute that data to the different sources. We have to copy that data to the different sources. Now, next one, data federation. It is the process of collecting the data from different sources, collecting the data from various sources, and convert it into the common model. That means in for data federation, we are gathering data from different sources. We are gathering the data from different sources, and we are converting that data into the common model. That means we can say that data federation is the process of collecting the data from various sources and converting it into the common model. Then it allows multiple databases for functioning as one and provides the single data source to the front end application. And even that means data federation, if you are using the data federation, you have to access that data from only one place. There is no need to go separate databases or which related query based data type. That means you can access that data only from one place. Then you can, if you are using data federation technique, then you can easily access it from the data federation system. For example, if you are running the organization, any organization, that organization containing the multiple databases. That organization can contain the multiple databases. For example, ERP, CRM, data lake, and that can contain the different data models. If you are using the data federation, then it will help to bring that models in the under the one roof. That means you are allowing the users to view and access the data from the one place. You are guiding the users for viewing and accessing their data from the one place. There is no need of going to another places, no need of going off on the different databases for accessing any data. That means after using the data federation system, after using the data federation technique, you can view and access your data from only one place, which is the common model. Now, third one is, first we will see that this diagram. See, we have used the enterprise information integration tool on the database data sets. There are different sources, source 1, source 2, source 3. We have applied the enterprise information integration, and then we have converted that data into the single format, into the common model. This is the common model. Which we have denoted the virtual business view. That means when you are running any organization, then there should be only common model for accessing the data by your employees. Now, next one is data warehousing. I already told that data warehouse contains the central repository. That means It is the data management system which will store the large amount of data from multiple sources and convert into the single view. That means it should be the central repository. It should be central repository. Data warehouse is the process of managing the data for storing the large amount of data which we have collected the different sources into the single format. Nowadays companies use data warehouse for reporting purpose and data analytics purpose. Actually, main goal of a data warehousing is to make more informed business decisions. If you are using data warehouse, it will be very easy for any organization to make the better decisions related to the business. Even data warehouse can get the data, will get the data from different sources, including that should be relational database or even transactional system also. To access data, analysts will use mostly business intelligence tool for analyzing the data, mining the data, visualizing and conducting some reports also. And for this we have to continue to evolve. It's imperative for businesses for using the data to stay in competition. That means after applying the data warehouse, it is very easy for us making the best decisions related to business. Then it will be very easy for managing the data. It will be very easy for accessing the data, and that means data warehouse is totally data management system which will handle the large amount of data from multiple sources and it will convert into the single view, which will be very useful for the users. Now you can see that data warehousing diagram. Here, there are so many different sources: source 1, source 2, source 3. Then we have applied the ETL process, that means extract, transform and load. After applying this process, we have stored that data into the data warehouse. First, we have collected the data. We have collected the data from different sources. Then we processed on it. We processed on it. And after processing, we stored the data into the data warehouse. And that stored data we are using for different purposes like mining, reporting, business intelligence, then visualization, for making decisions related to business. That means there is a need of data warehouse. Now we will see middleware data integration. Integration middleware is actually third-party tool which will allow you to connect two or more application. Like for example, if you want to send a message from one mobile to another mobile, that means there are two components. One is the sender and another one is the receiver. But sender and receiver are connected with something. Sender and receiver are connected with something. That means it should be media. It should be media. Right? That means for sending and receiving the message, there should be the connection between two sources. Should be between sender and receiver. That means integration middleware is also same like this. It is third party tool which is used to connect two or more applications. These applications can be cloud based or some live on premises, even legacy databases. Legacy databases means it some before some years we have already used, but because of new model technology we cannot use it. Generally middleware use like a connective issue. That means we can say that it is a connector between the different applications, different data, and different users. It involves some middleware application between different sources and central depository. That means middleware data integration using the middleware application system for connecting the source system and central data repository. But before sending it data to the repository, you have to check that your data is valid or not. If your data is not valid, then you cannot send that data. You cannot uh, process on it. So before processing on it, before sending that data into the data repository, you have to check you have valid data or not. You have followed all structure or not. Did you follow every rules or not? That means you have to check all things. And we can say common middleware applications. There are the some common middleware application, integration. For example, database middleware, application server middleware, message oriented middleware, web middleware, and transaction processing monitors. What are the examples of middleware? Database middleware. That means it will connect to the databases, different databases. Then application server middleware. Then here there is a communication between two or more servers. Then message oriented middleware. Message can be sent and received by using the message oriented middleware. Then web middleware. We can create data. We can communicate by using the some links. And in the transaction processing monitors, which are used in the banks for the transaction purposes. Best example, nowadays you are using the Android operating system mobiles, and this Android operating system uses the middleware. And why it is using the middleware? If you are using the middleware, it is easy to run its software quickly, efficiently, and it will give the best result. If uh, you're using the Android phone, then it will be used definitely Linux kernel. Even it's not using only Linux kernel, it is using the application structure also, which provides the some middleware layers which containing some libraries, and provides the some services also, which services are data storage, screen display, multimedia, and web browsing. And these libraries are compiled to the machine language and allow the some specific functionality for varying the devices. For varying the devices. Now we will see the middleware as a communication service different system. You can see in the premises there are different sources. For example, the warehouse, BW, WCRM, EDI, ERP, HR, all are present on one premises. Then in this side there are cloud system, which is cloud, web shop, business partner, and both are connected by using the middleware. And that means we can communicate, we can transfer data from this side to this side, and they can transfer data to this side. That means there should be mass sender and receiver. That means they can transmit the data from one place to another place, and there should be the communication between the two or more sources. There are the some references. I used some links. You can use these links for searching the data. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.